By the way, did you get the questions in advance of this thing? No?
No.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to wing it. Welcome to
guess,
another edition of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We're documenting the journey of amazing entrepreneurs that just wing it.
Right.
That make it up as they go.
Well, it kind of happens that way.
That are witty.
Yes.
That are beautiful, like Sharon Winningham from. Oh. You know what? You're a life coach, but you're more than a life coach.
Yes.
You know, life coach kind of just limits a little bit of what you do. Explain to us.
Okay, life coach kind of is a person that will see people one-on-one, and
yes.
And what I did was a little bit different in looking at reproducing myself, and kind of from a perspective like I can't do this.
Reproducing as duplicating
what I can do.
Right. Okay.
So I've taken a whole group of people that have actually been in coaching with me, have healed their life. Done a lot of great work, and then they want to give back. And so I started a community-based effort of this idea that I can't do it all on my own. There's so many people to reach that I've trained them to run support groups, and there's free support groups all over the valley in all kinds of churches and homes. And so I have training programs to train these hosts to do what I do.
Which is what exactly?
Which is to help people see the fear and confusion in their life. But we take it to, over the years, it's grown into kind of more of a looking at the neurology, the biology, the physiology of what's going on with people with severe PTSD and trauma. We're actually holding them when we can identify the age that they're stuck at their first emotional traumas. We're actually holding people because it will it takes the hormones to a completely different place. It's bringing them to a place of peacefulness, something maybe they've not felt their whole entire life because they've been living in so much fear, that they now know what they're reaching for. They have something to hope for, and so we'll hold. There'll be some people that have had so much trauma that we'll hold them. The groups run for 2 hours in all the different locations, and we'll hold them for 2 hours while they're there. Before they can even hear any of the teaching of what we're teaching, and how to replace all the confusion that they've got, and all the victim and the perspectives are so skewed by the trauma that they've had, that we actually have to nurture them. So what we're really kind of done is we're reparenting. We're taking the childhood traumas, and I'm teaching everyone how to create a safe environment where they can come in and tell the truth about themselves, get seen with no fear, no anger, no disappointment, to where they can actually begin to get the love, because love is really the opposite of fear.
What motivates me, though, to or impulses me, propels me to realize that I can just go ahead and start telling you my life story and have that breakthrough? Because most of us, you know, we live in a shell. We live in this houses that we've built.
I know.
You know, that are so hermetic that it's very difficult to escape out of, or even for somebody like you to penetrate.
Right.
So what do you do?
It usually will take, and so I'll get the worst case scenarios. They've tried everything.
Like me.
Like you, for instance. If we can build up enough praise, power, pleasure, safety in our life, we can build a relative level of happiness but we all know that there's something left unhealed. So there's something more. There's something that we're missing. And until we're ready to actually admit that, most of the time it'll take some kind of crisis, the loss of a relationship. Right. So I get the people that are they've tried everything. They're at their last, they're spiraling out of control.
When you say that they've tried everything, they've tried other life coaches, they've tried counselors, they've tried the churches, they've tried just about going to the doctor.
And the reason why it doesn't work typically, like going to a counselor once a week, the programs that I have, the people that come to me in coaching are emailing me every day, they're talking to me every day. It's kind of putting it on steroids, and then we give them the community to be involved in. They have to go to group every single day and make calls every single day. So they've got like 50 people loving them. So we take 10 years of counseling and we compact it into a 10-week coaching program where here's all the steps that they have to take. So they're constantly getting love coming in, nurturing, and the right perspectives. And I direct them on what to tell the truth about themselves. Now, most people live in a state of denial about what actually happened to them. They actually think that, well, I was sexually abused when I was 6, but it really didn't affect me that much. And they end up finding out that it really did. They've done forgiveness work and they've forgiven the person, but yet they've never really healed that place inside of them that's still traumatized.
Does forgiveness work?
Huh? Does forgiveness work? It's a part of the equation.
Or is it just a
gratitude,
term
all of
that
it's a practice, but there's very few people that actually live in that space, in that spiritual awareness of. Most people are going to be living in duality, that good and bad happenings are happening in their life, not the singleness of purpose of faith, of knowing that it's really for their higher good and learning from it. And if they don't have mentors there to teach them about their daily life and what they're learning from it, they'll continue to stay in that victimized, so to speak, perspective. So I've taken just these programs and just taught it, and I'm teaching it now in Houston and in Dallas and in Kona, Hawaii. I have communities springing up all over the nation and reproducing what we've done here. And it's basically, there's got to be the education piece.
Here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Here in Phoenix.
Because you're going to be watched all over the world.
Oh,
so.
okay, hi.
All right.
So I do, and we opened up a facility, a home this last, about 2 years ago, where my clients can come stay long term, and they can come from other cities and stay and do work with me daily. And so we can condense down, years of therapy into a very short period of time.
Awesome. But this is also about your journey. So how does
why did it start for me?
How
Interesting
does
story.
how does one get to be you?
Real estate agent, market crashed.
Right.
Okay, you remember when the market crashed. Yeah. 10, 11, 12 years ago, I'm raising a son. A man came to speak at my church. His name was Dr. Greg Bear, and he was teaching unconditionally loving principles. Yeah. I listened to this weekend seminar, and I went, I have no idea how to love my son, and I am crucifying him. He was 13 and a half years old. I was a single mom, and he was punching holes in walls, had cold cocked me to the floor. He was on the #1 top team in America, an amazing athlete. And I was losing my relationship with him because I was controlling, fearful, just spazzing out everywhere, yelling at him, pick up your socks, screaming at him, do better in school, you're not good enough. And the words that he was hearing from me is, he's not lovable, he's not enough, that he'll never live up to my expectations. So I was crucifying my son. He was beginning to get a voice of his own with that rage inside of him from not being loved. I didn't know any better. Right. And I went, I have to change everything. So I went to the minister of my church and I said, something's really wrong. And these principles are so profound, I want to start support groups and start teaching them to others.
And your church was not providing any type of support or service?
No, there just wasn't anything. So I started running these support groups. And within, we had co-ed groups, and we had a women's group, and we started a men's group, and we were just teaching these principles and creating a safe place where people could come in and tell the truth about themselves, about where they were really hurting. And in doing that, people started to come to me and saying, can I come over and talk to you? Can I come over and talk to you? Can I come to your house? And I'm like, what for? They're like, I'm learning so much from you. And I said, okay. And there was this natural ability, because I was so traumatized as a child, I had a keen eye for watching the sight of your face changing. I could see what was going on internally with people to keep myself safe as a child. So my keen awareness to be able to see what was going on in others, that traumatized Sharon that was a little girl, had this great ability to be able to look into the hearts of others and know what was going on with them.
And then people perceive this, and then they feel comfortable with you telling you their story. So that relationship that you established very, very fastly just by speaking, or somebody listening to you speak, perhaps broke the barrier that we were talking about before.
So I do seminars, I do classes, I do classes in dating, I do classes in parenting. I do
classes in what?
Classes in dating, classes
like what?
in
What do you teach?
What do I teach?
Of dating.
About how to find someone who actually has capacity to be in a loving relationship, and what are the signs. Here's exactly what you need to look for. Because if anyone is in attacking behaviors, if they're in a lot of controlling behaviors,
does love come through the eyes first or through the stomach?
For you, it's food, right? It's a beautiful woman. That's you, right? So it's on the very superficial, and how to get to that deeper.
Because I'm so shallow.
Yes.
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 I have to
He's a good friend. I know him, so I always tell him, you're still trading in that imitation love. You're not looking for the real thing, because it's so powerful. The imitation love, the praise, power, pleasure, safety, all of that is so powerful that it can give you a sense of a euphoric high, but it doesn't last. If it's constantly failing, then you're still trading. So yes, I do classes on that and what to look for, and so that you can find the right partner, someone who's got a level of consciousness about what they're doing, where their traumas came from. I can show you my blueprint so you can understand who I am. If I don't understand my blueprint, I'm not going to be able to find someone who can love me. I can't explain to you who I am.
Have you found love?
Yes, I have a partner in my life who's just fabulous, wonderful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm very lucky.
So you take advice from yourself for your own life?
Well, all the same people that are in our community, they're all people that love me a lot, know me for who I really am, and I can tell my truth to them, and they're my mentors. So we become, it's an equal based sharing, knowing that we need to have those kind of people in our life.
Sharon Winningham,
Yes.
a love coach. You're an amazing woman.
Thank you.
What's in the future for you?
We shut down our facility that we have because we were actually in a big, huge 7-bedroom home in Glendale, and the HOA found out that we were running a business there. We did retreats there.
They might have a problem with that.
They might have a problem with that. Silly me. So we're looking for some kind of other kind of compound, and probably starting a nonprofit this year, because everyone said, oh God, if you just start a nonprofit, we donate all this money. And so I had a benefactor that actually bought the house in Glendale for us. And so we've actually sold it. Now we're going to be looking probably in the next 2 years for a property that's maybe got 20 bedrooms, kind of, you know, group rooms and classrooms and all that.
If there's anything that we can do from our end,
yeah.
I'm just a beep away. Well, that was a beeper. That was like in
Beep,
the
beep,
80s.
beep,
I'm just a text away.
Okay,
How's that?
all right.
But this is amazing, and so we really appreciate it. Now your journey to get to here, Sharon, has been incredibly difficult, and I think one of the things that we try to do with the show is to deglamorize the entrepreneur idea. You know that in a couple of weeks you're gonna just. Boom! You're just going to become But it's a journey. It's hard lessons. And
hard. I had to do my own personal work in order to be able to sustain the very drowning people that I work with in community that are angry when I tell them the truth that I'm seeing about themselves. The people that attack me. That the endless hours of me giving to others before there was a return.
Sure.
There's always that. What do they say? 40,000 hours till you've mastered something. I don't know. There's a quotient.
Yeah.
And you know, it takes putting in a good decade of your life to really create the knowingness about how good you really are. Does that make sense?
Yes. Best advice you're going to give
Oh, best advice?
to our entrepreneurs today.
Oh, you better follow your heart and get out of your fears. Face your fears.
And the best advice you're going to give me?
It'll take some time.
This advice is
Let me give a class here for you. How's that?
That's exactly right. I love
Right
you,
on.
man. Here, honey, give me a hug. Thank you so much for coming.
you.
We love you really much. And with that, we're out.
Welcome to the remix. Prestige.